attention, intention. And as you and I are both familiar, and many of people who follow you are, the law of attraction and the movie The Secret and all of that, they talk about attention and intention.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, if I'm having like a really bad day and I'm driving in traffic, having that bad day, and I give my attention to that,
Mm-hmm.
how does that affect my frequency, my vibration? How does that affect me? How does that affect those around me?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's also an extremely great question, because people will often say, I wasn't even thinking about that, and yet I had this experience. This event happened in my day. How did that happen? So when you're getting up in the morning, if you start setting your intentions of how your day is going to look, how it's going to feel, you're already quantum leaping. You're quantum leaping the future into the now. And you're saying, this is my future and I'm going to create it right now. So then when these events are happening, you get into a situation where you rush hour traffic. We've traveled a lot by vehicle on the ground. And there are matters where especially if you have one or more people tuning in, you can actually get the information of like, don't take that freeway today. Divert, take this other freeway. It might take you an extra 5 minutes. Actually, it might take you less, half an hour, because of something that is about to be created there, that is about to happen. So the law of attraction piece is something that you're constantly orchestrating with your vibrational signals that you're sending out. The intention that you set is that which you decide to do about it. How are you going to respond to that? So you get a ping. This is an example. You get a ping. Ooh, I just got that I was supposed to leave for work 15 minutes early today. I don't know why, but I'm going to leave 15 minutes early. So then all of a sudden you're picking up on the law of attraction state of the collective, because we're all in a collective as a community. You can't control what anything else is happening with other people. You can only take care of this and direct this, right? So you get that ping, you decide, I'm going to leave 15 minutes earlier today. You get shooting down the highway, you're on your way, and all of a sudden you hear something on the radio that says, oh man, there's a really bad crash on the highway that you are traveling on. Yeah, it just happened. It's, and all of a sudden you're looking at your watch or your phone, because who has watches anymore? Or your clock radio on the deck, and you see, oh my gosh, that if I had been 15 minutes later, I would have been involved in that. This has happened to many, many people. What happened? You tuned in, you said, you know what? My law of attraction state and frequency that I'm setting and my intention behind it is for that ease, right? I'm going to move easily to work. I'm going to get there, everything's going to come together. In fact, I'm going to be early enough to get myself an extra cup of coffee and then do my work. So that's the difference between the law of attraction. Nothing is out of our hands. Nothing is out of our means to be able to create it differently. So even if I hear this all the time from clients, is some medium or some intuitive told them they couldn't have children, they were going to get cancer, all these foreboding, warning things that possibly maybe they have an accent of truth to them. However, I suggest and recommend all the time to people, you create your reality. So if you're getting told, hey, there could be cancer down the road, start checking in to see where you need to change what's going in your mind and what's going in your mouth to alter that course. Because are there intuitives and mediums and shamans and visionaries and stuff that can pick up on the blueprint of your Akashic record of things that you have designed that is completely changeable at every time? Because you can. Even no matter what blueprint we chose to get here, we can still alter that course based upon our own decisions and what we're creating. So the intention piece of it is, what is my intention? Okay, I've had this, somebody told me that this was hereditary. There's no way out. I'm going to get cancer. I'm going to have this happen to me. Your DNA is set up for it. I've had people tell me that they've been told that too. Then you get that intention of, what's my intention now? What if I can alter this course? Because it's already been proven by science that DNA can be altered with your thought. So what we're thinking, what we're putting on our mouth and our minds regarding the nourishment that we give ourselves, is it nourishment, is it not? Is it something that could lessen our connection to our power, or is it going to increase it? And the law of attraction says, at every point along the way, according to those in the quantum, you can alter that course. So your law of attraction, yes, but why is it changing all the time? Because of your energy, your vibrational state, your frequency state that you choose. That's how vibrational, all that law of attraction can be altered. Does that clarify?
Yes. So for instance, if I'm driving and I decide that I'm getting a strong nudge that I don't want to, and traffic's slowing down and I don't want to sit in traffic, and I'm thinking I'm going to be late for work, I end up late for work. If I think there's got to be an easier way, get off the highway, take a main street, and then, you know, find myself actually making it to work on time because I thought there had to be an easier way.
Yes.
So is that an example of what you're...
Excellent example. Yep. And another example of it would be, how many times have you had somebody tell you, oh my God, I'm going to be so sick tomorrow, my whole family's sick, everybody's down, I'm going to be sick tomorrow. And guess what? They are. And the next day, they're calling in saying, I can't be there, I'm sick. So we have to really be watchful. What is your intention? If your intention, because you're setting it with your statements that you're making, you're setting it with that self-talk that says, if I go down this highway today, you know, I just have this really bad feeling, oh, I feel like I'm going to be in a car crash, and I don't listen to the ping to say, guess what, you have another option. You don't have to go down that freeway. There's a frontage road you can take. Or you can go around the area. I mean, we live in the mountains, sometimes you have to take certain roads. What do you do then? What if you do only have one highway that you can take? Set your intention that whatever this is that you're picking up on, it's going to happen at a different time, and in fact, send resolution or healing or a dissipation of that friction and that static by those human beings that are coming together to do whatever they are setting out to do, whether it's anger, rage, disruption, chaos, something they've convinced themselves of, that life is hard and tough and full of challenges and crashes and you just keep falling down, and that's the crash that's happening. You can still send to that, be having an alteration of some kind where the people involved in that suddenly go, you know what, I don't want that today. I don't want that. I already pay high enough insurance rates or whatever. I am going to go for a different road, or I'm going to go a half an hour later to work. And all of a sudden you've helped pull apart that chaos and that drama and that static as well, not only on your own, but for everyone else at the same time. And it goes the same for healing of areas of the world or where there's a lot of static and challenge, different sects even coming up and having SECTS coming and having...
Thanks for clarifying.
having strife and or a lot of disharmony. You can still send to those areas, and people think it's hoopla. It is not hoopla, because you have seen, even with the Maharishi effect. If you've never heard about this, check it out online. It's fascinating that there was a time in Washington, D.C. where the crime rates were escalating to beyond, they didn't know what to do. Like police and law enforcement said, we need help. We don't know what is going on. And there was a crew, I think of 35, it was unbelievable, it was 3,500 plus people meditating for the state of peace for Washington, D.C., and they saw a drastic reduction in crime there. It was, they said there's no other thing they could attribute it to. Police officers said there's no other thing that we could think of that could make this much of a difference. So energy matters, and where you put it, your intention and the law of attraction, is you can change it all the time. That is the freedom of being in this form and having that free will, is that if you're having what you call a bad day, determine that it's going to change, and only you can do it. It doesn't matter what happens out there. You could go and get yelled at by your boss, sit down with a coworker and have them coming at you. You could be going to get your lunch and somebody there's a big to-do. That's the time to really check back inside here and say, where's my internal fight going on? Because otherwise, why would I be attracting all this fighting, and yelling and screaming? So, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So with regards to the Maharishi effect, it's also, science did this thing called the butterfly effect, and it was the sensitive dependence, and it was, if a butterfly's wings make motion, can that actually impact the earth? Mm-hmm. And they studied it, and guess what? It can. The actual Maharishi effect was exactly what she described, but they also took it to not just Washington. They actually did it in several cities around the United States and then around the globe. And it's fascinating to read about, because in every instance, all of the violence and all of the things that we would normally associate with crime and violence were decreased while this group of transcendental meditating monks were meditating for peace and for ease.